Well, welcome back to another game of Uptempo Basketball. My name is Brian Hafferkamp. I'm the designer and creator of this game. I am going to pre-play, I guess, Game 5 of the 2024 NBA Finals. And I'm going to be using Uptempo Basketball, and we're going to go ahead and I'm just going to go up-tempo style, which is playing, it's playing the cards here, so ignoring the player values, and basically it's a team game at this point. So I'll be rolling the same off of the team card, but instead of going here to find the shooting percentages, I'll simply use the team shooting percentages and the team defense. So this is definitely one way to play the game, and the game should move along a little bit more quickly. We'll be doing the same thing as we did in the previous game, where we shoot every shot. So there are no 2-point makes or anything like that. There's just 2-pointers, 3-pointers, and free throws, and then turnovers, of course, and scoring runs. So we'll get this one started. It is a 3-1 lead for Boston in this series, as they had a clunker of a game last night for Game 4, and Dallas came out and completed the game. I guess in Game 3 they came out hot, but they didn't complete the game. So we'll see how everything goes in this one. I'm going to be using the percentile die here for any shots. So let's get this one started. We need to see who wins the tip. Red will be the away team, white the home team. The tip goes to Boston. Let's get some kind of indicator here about who has the ball. Try to get a little room. Okie doke. So let's get this one started, as Boston is the home team. They have the ball first. 74 is going to be a 2-point attempt. I'm sorry, a 3-pointer. They shoot at 38.3%. This is a 39.5, so that's going to be a miss on the 3. And there's nothing to do with that. They're playing at 49 possessions per quarter. And I've gone through this previously, but you need to do, if you're going to shoot every shot, then you need to do a little bit more true possessions. So 100 possessions plus 97 is 98, I believe, is what the average is. And then 98 divided by 2 is 49. So you need to be a little bit more true about that. Instead of dividing by 3, you divide by 2. So 57 is going to be a 2-point basket, or a 2-point try, I guess, for Minnesota. For Dallas, and that's up and in, and the Mavs take a 2-0 lead in this one. All right, a 9 is going to be a turnover to Boston. That's the first turnover of the game. First turnover for the Celtics. They're a 4-15 for turnover. 45 is going to be 2-point attempt again. And for Dallas, it'll be a 53.9 is what we're looking at. 53.5, oh my gosh. And that one goes in. That was very close. All right, so to a 4-0 lead for Dallas as we kick this one off. A 79 is going to be a 3-point attempt. Dallas has a 0 defense, so they don't affect any shots. The 3-point percentage is 38.8. And the Celtics come back with a 3-ball in the corner pocket. Dallas back down the floor. That's an 8. That's going to be a turnover. So first turnover of the game for the Mavs. And you can see that this version moves quite a bit quicker than the other. 42. That's going to be a 2-point attempt. For Dallas, Dallas shoots at 57.5. This is a 55.7, and so that's up and in. And the Celtics take a 1-point lead. Dallas with the basketball coming back down the floor. A 1, that's going to be a scoring run. And so let's see what that is. It's a 67. 67 is a 6-0 run for the Mavs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I personally like to indicate that with a little line that just gives me a quick look at how they scored. So we'll take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 off the clock. Takes us down to 36 possessions. And no need to deal with this paper here that does all the individual points when you're playing this way. So just a 6-0 run. It's 10-5 Mavs over the Celtics, but that's about to change. This is another scoring run, so a 3. Both teams are 1-3 for a scoring run, so let's see what happens with the Celtics. And 88 is going to be a 10-2 run. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And 2 for the Mavs. And this first period is scooting right along. We're at 30 possessions. It is 15-12. Boston over Dallas. 25 is going to be free throw attempts. Dallas is 75.8 on their free throw attempts. So missed the first and missed the second. Wow, that's unfortunate. 51 is going to be a 2-point shot. 55.2, that is going to be good from the Celtics. So the Celtics pull out to a 5-point lead. Dallas with the ball. 62 is going to be a 2-point shot. 20 is going to be up and in as the Mavs pull back within 3. 31 will be just into the 2-point range, so it's a 2-point attempt. 77 is going to be no good. And Dallas with the ball coming back the other way. 47, 2-point attempt for the Mavs. And a 14 is definitely going to be good. So Dallas cuts the lead to 1 on that 2-point shot. 33, this is going to be a 2-point attempt. And a 67 is a miss for the Celtics. Mavs with the rebound coming back the other way. That's going to be a 3-point attempt. They are going to be a 33.9 to make. It's up and no good. We have 23 possessions left in this first quarter. 61 is going to be a 2-point attempt from Boston. That's going to be a make. And we are at 22 possessions left. It's 19-16 Boston over Dallas. 64, that's going to be a 2-point basket. At least a 2-point shot, and a 32 is going to be good. Lead back down to 1 as this one goes back and forth here in the first quarter. 0-6, that's going to be a turnover for the Celtics. That's turnover number 2, and Dallas can take the lead on this time down the floor. This will be a 2-point shot. A 42 is going to be good. No amount of defense can stop that. We're at 20 possessions left in the quarter, and it is 20-19 Dallas over Boston. 83 will be a 3-point attempt. 57 is going to be no good on the 3. Boston a little bit cold from 3 so far. 48, that is an and 1, and the bucket is good, and so is the free throw. So we get 3 points. You can still do your and 1. You just don't assign it to a particular person. Here's a 3-point attempt from Boston. And a 59 is no good, as Boston misses on the 3. 38 is going to be a 2-point attempt. Our score is 23-19. 52, so they are going to be a 53.9. It's a 52.8. And that is good for the Celtics, as they stretch their lead to 6 over, the Mavericks over the Celtics. 23, that's going to be free throws. First one is good. They're 80% as a team. Second one is good. And we have 15 possessions left in the first quarter. 87 is going to be a 3-point shot. And Dallas, true with the 3. As they begin to stretch the lead out, it's 28-21, 7-point lead. Biggest lead of the game for Dallas. 53 is going to be a 2-point attempt. And that is up and in for a good shot. Cuts into the lead a little bit. It's 28-23. Lead back down to 5. 71 is going to be a 3-point shot for Dallas. And 43 is no good. So they shoot at 36.9. And with the defensive adjustment, that's 33.9. 24 is going to be free throw attempts. And first one is good. Second one is good. So our score here, 28-25, Dallas over Boston. This is Game 5 of the 2024 finals. That's going to be another turnover. Turnover number 2, both teams with 2 turnovers. This is a 100, so that's going to be a 3-point shot for Boston. 69 is no good, as Boston yet to hit on a 3-pointer. Score remains 28-25, and the Mavs are going to go take a 2-point shot. 57 is going to be a miss. Good defense from Boston, and the Celtics run it back down the floor. 41 is going to be a 2-pointer. This is a fast break, and they miss on the fast break. 7 possessions left in the first quarter. 64 is going to be a 2-pointer. That is missed as well, as both teams go cold here at the end of the first. 79 will be a 3-point shot up for Boston. It's in the air, and it is nothing but the bottom of the net. And that's going to tie the game at 28 as Boston comes back with a big 3. 5 possessions left in the quarter. A 19 is going to be free throw attempts for Dallas. First is good. Second is good. And Dallas steps out into a 2-point lead. 30-28 is our score. 93, another 3-point attempt. Boston 2 for their last 2. Make that 3 for 3. As that's going to be a 1, 2, 3 drain for the Celtics, and they take a 1-point lead over Dallas. Here's a 3-point attempt from the Mavs. Just 3 possessions left. They're going to miss this one. And back down the floor come the Celtics. Here's another 3. This one from the top of the key. That one's going to be missed as well. And Dallas, last shot of the quarter. 79 is going to be one more 3. And it's in the air as the buzzer goes off. And that's going to be a miss. So after 1, our score is 31-30. Both teams with an excellent first quarter. Boston carries the lead into the second. They'll have the ball first, and it is, put those markers for the quarter. All right, and coming out of the gate is a 70. A 70 is a 3-point attempt from Boston, and that's going to be a miss as the 3-point woes continue for the Celtics. 57 is going to be a 2-point attempt. 28 is going to be up and good for the Mavs, and the Mavs take a 1-point lead over the Celtics, 32-31 in this Game 5. If the Celtics win, they will take home the hardware. That's going to be turnover number 3 for Boston, though. A 36. 36 would be a 2-point attempt, and that is up and in. So Dallas, with a little quick breather at the quarter break, comes out, and they are 2 for 2 to start this quarter. What did I roll? 57. 57 is going to be a 2-point attempt. An 81, and Boston remains ice cold to start the second quarter. 82 is going to be a 3-point attempt for Dallas. And they are now 3 for 3 to come out in the second quarter. They stretched their lead to 37-31, 6-point lead for the Mavs. 15 is going to be another turnover. That's turnover number 4 for Boston. And Dallas steps out to the 3-point line. This one comes from the corner, and it is off the mark. Rebound to the Celtics, and coming back the other way is Boston. It's going to be a 2-point attempt, and Boston remains ice cold as they can't hit on the 2. 3-point attempts here from the Mavs. 73 is off. And we got 39 possessions left in the half. 38 is going to be a 2-point shot 42.1 is going to be good for the good for the Celtics as they get off to Schneid, and that's their first bucket, first 2 points of the second quarter. 81 is going to be a three-pointer. 72 is going to be off the mark. Boston back the other way. 61 will be a 2-point bucket, or at least a 2-point shot. 51.4, that is up and in for a good shot. It's now 37-35 Dallas. Dallas with the ball. 63 is going to be a 2-point shot, and a 5 is going to be up and in. Boston with the ball. They're down by 4. This will be a 3-point shot from the right corner. 49 is going to be no good as that's off the mark. And 71 is right at the 3-point attempt, and that's going to be a miss for Dallas. Boston with free throw attempts. They shoot at 80.7, so the first is good, and the second is good. The lead now just 2 points for Dallas, but they have the ball. 32 possessions left in the half. 53 is a 2-point shot, and that's going to be up and in as Dallas is true on that 2-pointer. 41-37, 4-point lead for the Mavs. 24 is going to be free throw attempts. Again, this is going to be in and in. So it cuts the lead back to 2. 30 possessions left in the half. 32 is going to be free throw attempts. First one is good. Second one is no good. So they just get 1 of 2 from the line. They shoot 75.8% as a team. 73 going back the other way. That's going to be a 3-point shot for Boston. 43.6 is a little bit too high as that goes off the back rim and Dallas grabs it. Coming back the other way, Dallas sets up for a 3-point shot. 45 is too much. And Boston with the ball. Boston down by 4. And they have the ball. This is a 2-point shot. 59.1 is going to be a little bit hard. And Dallas with the ball and the lead. Coming back the other way. 67, this is a 2-point shot for the Mavs, and the Mavs hit on the 2-pointer. It's now 44-39 Dallas. Dallas trying to extend this series. Boston trying to put it away. 56, that's a 2-point shot. 17 is going to be good. So Boston cuts into the lead. Just a 3-point lead for Dallas now. We've got 24 possessions left in the half, and Dallas turns it over for the 3rd time. Boston with the ball. 31 is going to be a 2-point attempt, and that will be up and in for the Celts. The lead now 44-43. This one a back and forth battle between Boston and Dallas. Both teams have had the lead. It's going to be free throw attempts. First one is good. Second one is good. And the lead is now 46-43. 3-point lead for Dallas as they give the ball back to the Celtics. 69 will be a 3-point shot. This from the left side, and that's going to be off. 20 possessions left now in the half. And this is a 2-pointer. 2-point try from Dallas is going to be up and in. No problem there as they get down the lane and lay it up. The Celtics with the ball, they're down by 5. Just can't seem to get over the hump. A 94 is going to be a 3-ball from the top, and a 54 is too hard. 71, 3-point shot from Dallas, and a 30.2 is going to be good as Dallas drains it. Firing away in this one. And the lead is now 51-43 as they stretch it out to 8, largest lead of the game for the Celtics. 66 is going to be right at the top of the 2-point shot range. 49.1 is good. And the Celtics bring it right back to 6. So Mavericks with the ball and a 6-point lead, and they promptly turn it over. That's turnover number 4 for the Mavericks. And Boston with the ball, as they can't do much with it either. They turn it over themselves, and we're headed back the other way. 21, that's going to be free throws. First one is good for Dallas, and the second one is good for Dallas. 53-45, 8-point lead for the Mavericks. 47 is a 2-point, actually that's an and one, and then 10 on the free throw is going to be a 3-point play. So a traditional 3-point play. Brings the lead back to 5. Dallas with the ball in the lead. Here's a 2-point shot, and that's going to be missed. The Celtics with a 69, that'll be a 3-ball from the top of the key, and that one missed. 60 is a 2-point shot from Dallas, and a 10 is going to be good. So a little bit of a game reset. 10 possessions left. It is 55-48, 7-point lead for the Mavs. In this game 5, fighting for their life, here's a 2-point shot. That's going to be good for Boston, as they cut back into that lead. Just a 5-point lead now for Dallas. Both teams pretty good shooting here, but this is going to be a 3-point shot. Sorry, 3-point shot for Dallas, and that is up and in with a 17. Hot start for the Mavs. They've got 58. 58-50 is our score. 3-point ball from the Celtics. A 30 is going to be good, as the Celtics answer right back with the 3 of their own. 7 possessions left in the half. 47 is going to be, just into the 2-point range. And that'll be up and in for for Dallas. 60-53. This is going to be a scoring run, 0-0-1. And what kind of run is it for Boston? It is a 56. 56 is going to be a 6-0 run, as Boston puts it together at the end of the half. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that we're at 6. That basically takes us to the end of the half. So they have a scoring run to end the half, and that's a 6-0 run, as they pull within 1 point of the Mavs. At halftime, it's 60-59. So 30 here, 28 here, and we got a good one here. It will be Mavericks ball as we start the second half. 50 is going to be a 2-point shot. 50 is an and one, so he makes the first bucket and the free throw. So right out of the gate, 56, 2-point attempt for Boston is up and in. And the game remains tight here as we start the second half. An 11 is going to be a turnover for Dallas. And in a seesaw affair, that can obviously change the game. 36 is a 2-point attempt. That is going to be up and in for the Mavs. You can see that this is quite a bit quicker gameplay whenever you go up tempo. It is purposeful. So if you're just trying to burn your way through some games maybe you don't care about, or to finish up a game, or maybe you want to do the first half this way and then play out the rest of it, if it's a close game, or maybe you just want to play the fourth quarter, however you want to do it, you can sort of switch back and forth between game modes. 48 is going to be an and one, so the bucket is good, and so is the free throw. And the Celtics, with a 3-point play there, jump out to a 3-point lead. 82, this will be a 3-ball, and a 0-0-1 is, of course, an answer back. So that ties the game at 66. Clutch shooting from the Mavs. 2-point shot here, that's going to be off the mark. Dallas coming back. Tie ball game at 66. A 12 is going to be another turnover, as Dallas racking up the turnovers at this point. 40 possessions left in the third. 74 is going to be a 3-ball. That will be up and in for Boston. as that's nothing but the bottom of the net, and that gives them a 69-66 lead in this game 5. Dallas trying to answer back with a 3 of their own, and that one's off the mark. Boston with the ball in the lead, but they turn it over. Turnover number 6 for Boston. The Mavs with the ball. 25 is going to be free throws. That will be good. And 89.1 is not going to be good. So they make 1 of 2 from the free throw line. Hasn't been a great free throw shooting day for Dallas. 78 is going to be a 3 ball. And a 10 is up and good. The Celtics heating up from downtown as Tatum pulls up and hits the 3. 24, that's going to be free throws. And 83.3 is no good. And 90.6, oh wow, that is bad. They come away with no points out of that situation. 72 is a 3-pointer, and that's going to be up and missed by the Celtics. 28 will be more free throws. This time they put in 1 and they put in 2, making up for those last 2. So 32 possessions left in the third quarter. Our score is 72-69. The Celtics are in the lead with the ball, and they're going to go to the free throw line. First is good, and the second is good. 74-69. 5-point lead for the Celtics, and 18. Back to the free throw line go the Mavs. A 57 is good, and a 65 is also good. 20 possessions left in this first quarter. 88, that'll be a 3 ball for the Celtics, and that is up and in. So the Celtics heating up from 3. The lead is now 77-71. Boston over the Mavs. 34 is a 2-point attempt, and that's going to be off the mark. Boston with the 2-point attempt of their own, and that is up and in and good for a bucket. 79-71. Celtics over the Mavs. 32, that's going to be free throw attempts. First one is made. The second one is made. And that cuts the lead to 79-73, 6-point lead for Boston. Boston trying to close this one out. 2-point attempt from the Celtics, and that's going to be off the mark. The Mavericks with the rebound come back the other way, and they're going to hoist up a 3-pointer. Ball is up in the air, and it is a 36.1. There's a -3, so they're at a 33.9, and that's going to be off just a little bit. As the Celtics get a hand in the face and distract that 3-point shot. You can see here that's a 0-0-2, and that means that the Celtics are on a run. So Boston with a 9-2 run. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 to 2. As they pull out way in front. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There will be 8 possessions left in the third quarter, and our score is 88-75 as Boston pulls out to a 13-point lead. 49 is going to be a 2-point shot. Oh, I'm sorry, that's an and 1 plus a free throw. Looking at the wrong card. So a 3-point play there for Dallas, trying to stay in this one. A 50 is going to be a 2-pointer for Boston, and that 44 is going to be good. So Boston putting on a show here in Game 5. It's 90-78. 16 is going to be right into the free throw range. 86.7 is a miss, and 50.7 is a make. Or 57, I'm sorry. 90-79. So 11-point lead for Boston, and Boston promptly comes down and throws the ball away. They've got 10, 9, 8, 7 turnovers. Dallas also with 7 turnovers. A 93 is going to be a 3-ball. They need this one to go in, and it does not. 3 possessions left in the third quarter. 38 is going to be a 2-point shot for Boston. 53.0 is good. They're a 57% shooting team. I forget that one. So I think that means they're only at 91 because I missed that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, I did count it. I normally knock all these out, but all right. What happened? Mavs with the ball. I think 2 possessions left. 47 is going to be an and-1, so they make the shot and the free throw. 1 possession left in this third quarter. It is Boston with the ball and the lead. 41 is going to be a 2-point attempt. A 76 is going to be a miss at the buzzer. And after 3 quarters, this one is 92-82. So 10-point lead for the Celtics. So we stop this here. 82 is going to be a 22-point quarter for the Mavs. Not so good. And 99. So a 40-point quarter. Wow. Is that right? Man, that is right. 40-point quarter. Oh my gosh. A 40-point quarter for Boston as Boston threatens to take this one home. We have 1 quarter left. Mavericks need a big comeback here. They're down by 10. And, man, I haven't had too many 40-point quarters. And look at Dallas right out of the gate. They have a scoring run. Let's see what the run is. It's a 96. Ooh, and they almost hit that 12-0 run. But it's going to be 10-2. That's pretty good. That's going to get them right back into the game. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Normally that would have tied it. But we're going to give the 2 to Boston. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 6. All right. And yeah, 94-92 after that 10-2 spurt from the Mavericks. Let's see if Boston can respond. 32, that's a 2-point attempt. 20 is going to be up and in as Boston takes a punch, lands a punch, and the Mavs with the ball, and they are down by 4. All that work, and they're still down by 4. This is going to be a 2-point attempt. That's up and in for the Mavericks. Let's see if they get hot in this fourth quarter. And who wants to take this one home? A 19 is going to be free throws for the Mavs. First one is good, and the second one is good. 98-94 is our score. Barn burner of a game. We're in the fourth quarter, early in the fourth. 76 is going to be a 3-ball, and that is off the mark for the Mavs. Boston with the 3-pointer of their own, and they hit. A 12 is going to be good. Stretches the lead out. 101-94, 7 points. 59 is going to be a 2-point attempt, and that's off the mark for the Mavs. 94, another 3-ball for Boston from the top of the key. 18 is good, and Boston feeling it. They can smell the trophy. 36 possessions left. The Mavericks need something big here. 59 is going to be a 2-point attempt, and that's up and in as they stop the bleeding momentarily. 8-point lead for Boston. They have the ball. 14, though, is going to be a turnover. Turnover number 8 for the Celtics. That's the one way you can let a team back in the game. A 90 is a 3-ball from Boston. Can they shoot their way back in? They cannot. And rebound to the Mavericks. 43 is going to be a 2-point attempt. 61.7, no good. 51, that's going to be a 2-point attempt. 81 is going to be no good as well. So both teams going a little bit cold here. 75, that's a 3-ball from the corner. And a 35.5 is good. So Boston finding the range. 30 possessions left in this game. It is 107-96, so 11-point lead as Dallas from the top of the key tries to cut into it, and they miss again. A 63 is no good from three-point range. Another turnover from Boston. That's turnover number 9. And Mavericks with the ball. This is a 2-point shot. 73. They are ice cold in this fourth quarter. This happened to them in one of the other games that I played as well. 80 is a 3-point shot from the Celtics. 32.5 is true as the Celtics bounce out to a 110-96 lead. 14 points is the lead. 38 is a 2-point attempt. A 95. Man, they just keep rolling these high numbers, and the Mavericks just can't buy a bucket. 80, another 3-pointer from Boston, and 85 is off the mark. They leave the door open just a little bit. Do the Mavs have a run? Do they have some scoring in them? 66 is a 2-pointer. 52.6. With the adjustment, they're down to a 53.9, so that is good for the Mavs as they break the spell. And Boston with another 3-point shot. Boston's starting to get a little bit lazy with their threes, shooting threes all over the place. 33.9. That's going to be good, though. Why not? Working for you. They'll trade 3 for 2 every time. 113-98 is our score. 15-point lead for Boston. 53 is going to be a 2-point attempt for the Mavs, and that's up and in as they get a little layup around the rim. They cross the century mark, and the score is 113-100, 13-point lead for the Celtics. 43 will be a 2-point shot, and that is going to be true for Boston. A little fadeaway jumper on the baseline. We got 20 possessions left in this one. The Mavs running out of time. 66 is a 2-point shot. That's going to be up and in. 115-102, 13-point lead for Boston. 43 is going to be a 2-point attempt. That's up and in as well. And the lead back out to 15. 117-102. 62, that's going to be another 2-point attempt. 25. Boston hitting on Dallas hitting on all cylinders. Just maybe too little too late. We'll see if they've got a big run in them. 40 is going to be a 2-point attempt. That's off the mark. A 23 will be free throws to the Mavs. First one good. Second one is no good. They have just not shot free throws very well in this one. And Boston with the ball and a 117-105 lead. So 12 is the lead. 36 is a 2-point shot. 38.5 is up and in. And Boston gets themselves to 119. 14 possessions left in this one. Still not out of the ball game. The Mavs aren't, but they're going to need some real help. First free throw is good. Second free throw is good. A 74, that's going to be a 3-ball for the Celtics. A 92, though, that's going to be a miss as they leave the door ever so cracked for the Mavs. This will be a 2-point shot for Dallas. 37.8 is up and in. So Dallas trims the lead to 10 with 11 possessions left in this one. 64 is going to be a 2-point attempt. 42.6 is up and in for Boston. Clutch shot there as the lead goes back out to 12. 10 possessions left in this one. 32 and 32 is going to be free throws. First one is good. Second one is 79. That is no good. So again, they're just leaving points out on the floor in this one. The Mavs are. It's 121-110. Another 3-ball from Boston. And that one is going to be seal the coffin time. 3-pointer is good for Boston. 8 possessions left in this one. It's a 3-ball from the Mavericks, and 82 is no good. For the Celtics, it is a 72. Another 3-ball, 39.2. Oh, they just missed. So that's going to be a miss for Boston. 6 possessions left. 21 is Going to be free throws for the Mavs. First is good. Second is good. And they cut into the lead a little bit. They're going to make this one respectable. 24 free throws for the Celtics. First is good, and the second is good. 126, 112 is our score. So 14-point lead, a 60.6. That's a 2-pointer. That's off the mark for the Mavs. 3 possessions to victory here for Boston. This will be a 3-point shot. 41.5 is no good. And last possession of the game for the Mavs, 76 is a 3-ball, and that goes up and in. But it's going to be too little too late, as Boston with another 3, and that one just to kill it is in, and that is your ball game. As the Celtics, this is the celebration. All the players on the floor celebrating. Yeah. And Boston brings home the hardware, 129, 115. So 14-point win. So that's another 30-point quarter. Is that right? It started at 92. I'm sorry. So 20, 37, 37-point quarter. My gosh. They are really, wow. 77 in the second half. They were taking care of business in the second half. That's right? 30 would be 122 plus 7. Man, ow, that's hot. And then 115. So they were at 82, and they also played well. So 33 point fourth quarter, and 115, 129. So the Mavericks bring home the win. They win the finals here 4-1. Let's see if that's what happens as they go home to Boston for game number 5, and that should happen. I think that happens maybe Monday or something like that. Tomorrow, Monday. So we'll see how predictive this little tabletop game is. But that was a fun one. So that's playing every single shot. I don't know what their team shooting percentages were, but Boston was terrible in the first half, great in the second half. These are 2 of the top scoring teams in the league, 117.9 and 120.6. So I would say that they're, you have their points per game here. So this played pretty true to who they are in real life. Boston with 1, 2, 3 scoring runs, 2 for the Mavs. And this one here really got the Mavs right back into it, but couldn't stop Boston. They don't have a great defense, so they don't have any way to sort of readjust on the scoring percentages. So Boston with a very good defense turned away a couple of shots, and that's how this one ends. So this is Uptempo Basketball. You can purchase it at clarkandaddisongaming.com. On the homepage under the new releases, you should see this season 2023-24. You can see it right there, and it's got all of the teams. Every team has their top 10 players in terms of playing time. And then every team also has their team card. So you kind of play off the full play game, which you can see in some other videos of mine. I replayed game 3 or pre-played game 3 to see who would win that one. And in that one, you go from this chart here over to the players. So this one I was doing this chart and then just looking at the team shooting percentages. But you can also go to the individuals. So then you would roll for which individual took the shot, whether it's a 2 or a 3 or a free throw. And then you have their shooting percentages under here. You can also roll for who was guarding them. So you can see if it was Luka, you roll to see is it Drew Holiday or Peyton Pritchard guarding him. And basically a 1 to 55, it's Drew Holiday. 56 to 100 on the roll is Peyton Pritchard. That represents their playing time, their total share of minutes in that position. And then each of them has a defensive rating, and then you would apply that defensive rating to, let's say he's taking a 2-point shot, guarded by Drew Holiday. So it would be 57.3 minus 2. So 55.3 because he has a better defender on him. So that's how the individual play works. And then you roll against that 55.3. And then does he make the shot or not? So very similar to what I was doing. You're just using individual players at that point. You can play with defense, with no defense. You can play with team defense, which I sometimes do. So instead of looking at the individual defenders, you can just remove a role for that and just look at the team defense and apply the team defense. That makes sense to me because basketball is a team sport, and often, the team defense decides a lot of things. So lots of different ways that you can play this. You can play with defense, without defense, with the shooting, individual shooting, without individual shooting. If you do individual shooting, you can keep all of your individual shooting here, and you can see how they did throughout the game. Keep their totals for their shooting percentages and for their points and things like that. So lots of different things that you can do with the game. There's lots of statistics that you can use in creative ways. So if you want to homebrew some things, you can do that as well. And yeah, I like the game a lot. Once you have individual players, then you'll need to use these scoring run cards. So for each different type of scoring run, you have that. And then you roll to see what happened on the play. So if it's a 9-2 run, you would roll again to see how to distribute the points. And distributing the points is different, a little bit different for each type of scoring run. So these two here, there has to be an opponent scoring somewhere along the way. So that's a little bit different, but here there's no opponent scoring. And so you can see how all those points are distributed throughout the game as well. All right, if you have any questions or comments, leave them down in the comment section below. Otherwise, if you haven't subscribed, go ahead and click subscribe. If you like this video, just individually, then you can give it a thumbs up. That's a super easy way, even if you don't want to purchase anything from the Clark and Addison Gaming Company. You can just click that little thumbs up, and that really helps us a lot. Same with subscribing. The Google algorithm really likes that, and so YouTube says, hey, this must be good content, so let's show it to a few more people, and maybe those people will like it, and those people will like it, and it just keeps going on and on. We're up over 175 subscribers, so thank you everyone who has subscribed. If you like this channel, keep sticking with it, because I will keep posting videos, keep making seasons. I think maybe I'm going to be into a little bit more season making mode in the next little bit. I don't know how long, but I need to finish off Precision Baseball, and then I've got a season in the works for Play Action Football. I keep dinking around with the full play version of this game. Don't really know how that would work, because if I list all the players for every team, and then you choose who's in the game, how do I distinguish who gets the ball? Right now, you've got it's a real polar A or B. That's who's going to receive the ball or get the ball. But if you have 3 or 4 players per position, how do you then get the ball to the right person? Right now, this is a closed system, but as soon as you introduce some choice into the game, now you have to expand the system out so that it includes all those players. So maybe it's a matter, I don't know. I've got a couple of ideas, so I'm gonna try to do those, and I don't exactly know how to go about doing that, about getting them into the game, about ball distribution. Boy, I don't know. I don't really know exactly how to do that the best way. So if anybody has any ideas about how to turn this in, basically you put all the players who are on the roster, and then you as a gamer would be able to put them into the game and decide minutes, and like a sort of old school traditional basketball game, PGG games or computer basketball or Stratomatic or whatever, where you can kind of make those decisions. Hoops, basketball is a new one. So just thinking about how you can enter into that space while still keeping the framework of what we have here. And so don't really know how that would work. And I've tried to create a full play, long play game from the ground up, and it's just not that easy. Basketball is really difficult to do. I think you can reflect and simulate a lot of what's going on, but can you make it playable? That's a real art form, and using the FAC cards is really helpful because it gives you a lot of information on there and helps the play to unfold in front of you so that you don't have to do a lot of the legwork on that. I'm also working on triple play, full season of triple play, like with actual regular basketball players, so full season of players. That also is a little tricky because it's mostly the card making process that's a little bit tricky for me. I don't think it's difficult to make the players, but to make them in the style that I had them before could be a little bit tricky. So I'm trying to, I try not to push too hard or do something that doesn't make sense. If it doesn't make sense, I can wait, and it'll probably come around at some point and make sense, or I'll think of something or have an idea and it'll work out. So I'm not so frustrated by it or anything. I know people have asked for that game because it's a little bit different, a little bit unique. If you haven't checked that out, go to triplethreatbasketball.com or triplethreatbasketballgame.com. You could search for it online as well. Triple Threat, like triple threat position. And you can purchase that game. You can't get it at the Clark and Addison gaming website just yet. But that's the one that I have is the NBA All 75 team. So it's actually 76 of the best NBA players of all time. And you can download those. I think the game is only like $10. And then you can also download player photos. So they have these. I don't have a version of it here, but basically the cards are like this tall. We can see that they're like this tall, like two things, cards put together, and the bottom half has all the player stats, and the top half is a photo. And so you can actually put player photos that I've created, or you can create your own. Just download them and resize them to the correct place, and then put them in a PDF. You can just put them on top of the space. So I give you some blanks where you can put the photos on there. I also give you just the bottom part if you just want to play without the player photos. It's a very colorful game. When you put the photos on there, it looks unbelievable. Like it's really, really nice. And I don't know that I can replicate how nice that set is. I'd hate to disappoint everybody. But the gameplay itself can be done for sure. So just trying to figure out how best to rework that game as well. So lots of irons in the fire. I'm working on the 1991 season for Play Action Football, so that'll be coming out at some point. I think I'm only a couple teams in to doing that. I'm going to try to redo some things. I used to go through each particular... I used to like massage each of the play results for each team, and that created a pretty big footprint. So the card was like this much of a piece of paper, and it's pretty big. I have that. I do happen to have a team right here. So you can see that it's, pretty good section of a piece of paper. It's from the 2000 season. But basically, because this chart here is so... Almost all the teams are going to be just a little bit different. Not a lot. So I'm looking at how can I extract this and then pull all this over so that the card is maybe just the size here. So we'll pull these things over, get rid of this because I don't think you need it. Pull this up, I'm going to have the full offensive and defensive starters over here. This is going to go from a colorful, big, huge block like this to just one line of a 1 to whatever roll. So you roll 2d10s, so which is what we're doing over here anyway. So you have your 2d10s, and you just roll those like in a 1 to 100 roll. And then you'll have those numbers here. It'll be more precise, which will be helpful for the kicking game, especially on extra points, because sometimes it's a miss here, and a 1 out of 10. Most teams are at like 96, 90 to 98%, even 100% on extra points. So a 1 to 10 roll doesn't do it justice, really. Same thing with a block. So there's more precision that can come into the game. We're going to keep this going here. We'll keep all of this as well. I'm just thinking of one centralized, or maybe even based off of, when I do the background statistics and things, when I figure these numbers and do the formulas for that, I also have a formula that says, I don't use it really, but it says this is a passing team, this is a balanced team, this is a rushing team. And it's based off of these numbers here. So what are the passing percentages and the rushing percentages for the team? So maybe I can integrate that in a little bit, as far as maybe have a passing, rushing, and a balanced offense. I'm not sure what I would need to create. But then I can just, you can use whatever is appropriate for that particular team. So if you have here a rushing team, maybe their passing is a little bit down, but their rushing, the numbers are a little bit more yards per rush and stuff like that. So I just had to see about how to do that. But I think that that's going to work better. Your cards are going to be a little bit smaller. Maybe you'll be able to stack them like this and have them next to each other, and then just have the play chart maybe a little bit bigger, where it takes up a little bit more of the page, and then, or maybe have multiple play charts on the same one, so that you can look at the appropriate play chart. I'm not sure how it'll work exactly, but trying to rework that a little bit, always trying to improve the games that I have. The main reason that I would do that is for creating new seasons. Hand making even 30 cards per season is laborious at best. It's already the part of the process I don't like, which is creating seasons. It's not that I don't like it, it's just that's not the fun part of doing this for me, making the games and thinking through everything and testing them and sharing them with everybody. That's really the part that I like the most. So when I create a game, I've got to create seasons, right? So I'm trying to figure out how to make that the easiest possible for me, so that you're not having to wait 2 years just to get one season, or that I can do multiple, the years just keep rolling by. So doing more than just the most recent season is good, so then you can backfill. Because I know a lot of gamers like to play older seasons. In fact, from what I've seen, most people don't play modern seasons, which is a little bit of a bummer, because there's a lot of really good sports out there right now. But football tends to be one where you get a lot of board gamers who are they're doing new seasons for that. So it's not all 1978. So a lot of people actually play and buy the newest season, so that's really good. And I love sports, and I still watch sports all the time, and I love it, old, new. I prefer more modern stuff. I mean, I'm not old. I don't think I'm old. That's debatable, I guess. So I like sports today. I like football. I love watching the basketball finals. I mean, I don't think that that's bad basketball. I think it's the NBA, and it's just like it's the way the NBA has always been. It's just kind of, they turn it up when they want to, and At least they're not beating the crap out of each other. At least they're making shots. When I grew up, they was beating the dog out of each other, and it was like 88, 86 was the NBA Finals, and that's not great basketball. I don't like 122, 119 either, but at least they're making shots, and it's a little bit exciting. So, and then I love baseball. I watch baseball every day. So I'm watching the Braves, and finally, I hope they're turning it around. Man, I hope they're turning it around. So I love modern sports, so that's why I keep making modern seasons, and maybe everybody hates that. I don't know, but I like the sports. I like actual sports. I don't dislike sports or how they change or whatever. It is the way it is, right? You got a shot clock in baseball, okay, whatever. And baseball just looks and feels like baseball to me all the time, whether you're waiting forever for a pitch. It doesn't bother me anymore because I got the MLB app, and I just hit that little 10-second button and I zip right through all of that junk. After every pitch, 10 seconds. After every pitch, 10 seconds. So getting through a game is no problem for me because I let the technology actually work for me. I don't know who sits around and watches 3.5-hour baseball games, but maybe somebody does. I don't do that. So I still enjoy the game because I can watch it the way I want to watch it that fits into my life. So I'm very thankful that the technology is meeting me in the place that I want to be. So that's all just to say a whole lot of nothing, but just to say that season creation process is the most difficult part for me because it's the part I don't like the most. So it's not because it's super difficult. It's just like, yeah, it's tedious. You have to sit down and, you got to put the spreadsheets together and run them through, even if there's a lot of formulas and stuff. And then you got to find all the anomalies and kind of massage that out. You got to test everything, make sure you didn't screw anything up. So there's just a lot that goes into it. And then with play action football, marketing is done, so that makes it a little bit easier. But with precision baseball, I still have to do the marketing side. I still have to come up with, what's going to be a brand or a mark for that game. And I got to build out a space for it on the website. And there's just a lot of things that have to happen for you to be able to get that game in your hands. And so just realize that the making of the game is only a small part of what actually happens. The making and the testing, I mean, it's not a small part, it's a big part, but it's only part of everything that has to happen in order to sort of bring a game to fruition. That's why it can take 2 or 3 years for a game to come to be, because you can spend a year or two just building it, testing it, making sure that it's got all the parts that you need or want. And then, it's a bit of time just to put in to get all the marketing side right. And thankfully I have a good website where I can just kind of plug it in once I get it, but still have to do all the work of vetting a mark, creating a mark, and different things like that. So, and I think most people would be like, well, it doesn't need that, just get it out there. But I think that's not reality in today's world. If you got a product with no mark on it, no way to distinguish it between other things except for some text, I don't think most people would go for that very well. You say you wouldn't, that you don't care, but you would care. You'd be like, what is this generic game? Why didn't they put some time and effort into it? That's what would come. So working in the marketing profession for several years, I know that that's important, and it's important to be able to show a mark and say, okay, I know what that is. Show colors. I know what that is. I know what that means in the marketplace. So this is not just doing things. It is doing things for fun, but not only for fun. So I do sell these games, and it's not a main source of income or anything like that, but I do want to put my best foot forward whenever I'm creating games. I think most people who make something and sell it want to do that, and so that's what I'm trying to do as well. So hopefully the marks are memorable. Hopefully the marks are distinguishable within the marketplace, and if you see something, you'd be like, oh, okay, that's play action football, or that's on base baseball. I can tell. So that is the hope of creating those marks. So this is Uptempo Basketball. Again, you can go and you can pick up this season. You can get there's a couple of ABA seasons from the 70s. There are NBA seasons from 1979, 80, all the way until today. So go check it out at the website, clarkandaddisongaming.com. And I'll put a link in the description to the Uptempo Basketball collection page, which you can see all the different seasons that are there. You can download the game guide, I believe. I think that's right. I think you can download the game guide for free and just check out what the game is about. Watching this gives you a good idea. Watching some of the other videos on this page will give you a good idea as well. So check it out. I just watched a game from Max's Cards and Dice on YouTube. He's replaying the New Jersey Nets from 1974-75 in the ABA. The Nets are on a roll. And Dr. J, he's averaging 25, 26 points a game. And so, you know, that's a fun one to watch. He's playing it all the way with dice and all of the defensive players and everything. You know, he even goes farther than I do. So when he decides to put the scoring run points, he actually decides between the starter and the bench player. I don't go that far. I just give all the points to the starters just because I want them to make sure that they're getting their points. But he actually distributes the points all the way. And so he plays it about as fully as you can play up-tempo basketball with dice. And it takes him maybe 40, 45 minutes to play a game. So the game doesn't take forever, especially for a basketball game where you play every play. So that's a good thing. And it's got a really good flow to it if you play it sort of out of the box, where there's 2-pointers and 3-pointers. There's some automated 2s, automated 3s. So if you play with that, it kind of picks up the pace of the game as well, even if you're playing with all the players. If I was playing like that, you would need to cut down. So I was playing 49 possessions. You would need to cut that down. That's going to be in the 30s or right around 40. So you're going to need to cut down some of those possessions just because there are automated shots in here. There are automated 2s and 3s. So you got to cut back the possessions just a little bit. Otherwise, you know, you already get a pretty true score here, but you know, you're going to get a pretty inflated score if you try to play possession plus possession divided by 2. That's going to give you each team's possessions, and then if you divide that by 2 like I did, then you're just going to get kind of overinflated scores. If you divide it by 3, you're going to get scores more in range, I believe. So that's if you're using pace. You can also use the clock. Max uses the clock, so that's part of it too. I also saw there was another guy, another gamer who had done the 82-83 NBA Finals, and that was fun as well. So just watching him play that game is excited. So you can find it on YouTube. There are some gamers that are playing it, and just take a look for it, Uptempo Basketball, on YouTube, and you'll be able to find some gamers playing it. Dave Gardner helped me in the beginning of the Digital Dice podcast. He helped me in the beginning sort of figure out the game and how to get it into a good place. He actually was the one who suggested, you know, putting more players on there. It just started 5 before when it started. So put more players on there, and how do you figure that out, and some other things. So Craig Harris from Pocket Pennant Run, he's the guy who does the computer side of Pocket Pennant Run. He loves the game and has given me a lot of good advice as well over the years of just, you know, maybe how we can incorporate rebounds or assists or fouls and things like that. So just some interesting things that are going on in the community is kind of slowly growing around the game. And I'm super happy for that, because I think it's a real unique game in the space. It's a medium play game as opposed to a full play game or a quick play game. Sort of somewhere in the middle, and can get faster or slower within the middle space as you go. All right, I think that's it from here. Appreciate everybody's support of what I'm doing, and this game in particular, and all the games that I make. And so be looking for more coming from Play Action Football, more from Precision Baseball. There'll probably be more coming from this game, just released this season, but I would hope to do another Classic season somewhere along the way. And for me, Classic is anything 79 to now, like the modern baseball or basketball era. And then who knows what else? Maybe the golf will come out at some point. I always have something I'm working on, so just be paying attention to that. Here on the YouTube channel, there's a growing number of videos, over 100 videos, so go back and check things out and see what's going on here. Yeah, I think that's it from here. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you again next time.